Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, Food Network, and more. If you can dream it, you can stream it. See what I did there? Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What's up, everyone? Freddie the Pizza Man here, host of the Pizza Man podcast. Now joining forces with ChristopherMedia.net. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, the Pizza Man podcast. And, of course, find all the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. We talk Detroit sports. I bring on guests, passions, opinions, all for Detroit sports and more. We even talk pizza. So thanks for tuning in and spread the word.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
It's number 100. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I am the Iceman.
We've returned. There's sabbatical. And boy, oh boy, a whole bunch of shit has happened.
0-0, last one.
William Bedford. That's all I remember for the Pistons.
About Meta World Peace.
Oh, too, when Gilbert Arenas, he was Agent Zero.
Oh, that's right, Gilbert Arenas. Okay, that's who it was.
I can't think of 100.
Every schlocky, comic-y, shitty football player in every B movie. Aren't they like 0-0?
Pretty much.
Was Bobby Boucher 0-0?
Wasn't he 69?
He was 0.
0?
All right. So, yeah. Lots happened since we've been away. We're going to get to it. I guess first thing we talk about is, man, the Stanley Cup final. I believe you're supposed to say that's the one that's the singular one, right? Is hockey. You have to say the Stanley Cup final. It's the NBA finals. But you got the Washington is up 3-1 on the Knights. Is this it for the Knights? Have a good one?
It's going to take a miracle for it not to be.
Yeah, it really is. That's like a devil advocate type shit. Had a good run, kid. Had to end sometime.
Fleury's been playing out of his mind, but I hope he's stepped his fucking game up beyond belief. I mean, he's looking, playoff MVP worthy right now. And I mean, I don't know. Luck ran out for the Knights. I mean, you can ride that, hey, we're new, we're an expansion team, no one knows what to expect shit for so long. Problem is when you're one team in the team of fields, field of teams, it's easy to fucking sneak into the pack. When your job as the Capitals head coach is to study that team and break them down so where you can beat them, your weaknesses become a little bit more glaring. And looks like Washington's found their weaknesses, period.
Yeah, I want to say it's an experience thing, but it's not like the Knights are full of rookies. They're full of cast-offs.
No, and the whole thing is that this entire season for the Knights is only because of the salary cap post 2000s lockout restructuring of the NHL. This would never have happened before then. There's no enforcers per se whose only job is to go out there. I mean, there are a few, whatever. For the most part, there are none. Every team doesn't have one or two guys who will be a healthy scratch unless you need them out there because it's going to be that type of game. Everybody has to be able to at least play up to a third line potential. There's really no scrub. So when these guys that weren't protected, I mean, look at the fucking goalies that weren't protected in the expansion draft. Look at the Golden Knights goalie. Period.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup winner.
Multiple Stanley Cup winner. Went unprotected. This shit would have never happened like that back in the day. Never. And I mean, it was a great story, but ultimately, I think I said it when we were doing the picks initially. I said if Washington can get past Pittsburgh, that's their white whale. That was them, basically killing the demon right there. And I would imagine they all feel like, okay, it doesn't matter who the fuck we face from here on out. We're going to win this motherfucking shit, period. So,
you think Ovechkin hangs around another season?
I would be stunned.
I don't know what's going on with Ovechkin.
Just gets his cup and he's like, deuces. Goes back to Russia. Plays with Datsyuk.
Yeah, but Rich, I mean, this is the best thing that could have happened to the NHL this year. The first year expansion team going to the Cup. The Capitals, who have never won the Cup, going. I gotta say this. I watched their opening act, man. Vegas could throw a freaking opening act out. I'm just saying.
Well, I have a talent for shitting on every point, but it's Vegas, man. What did you expect?
Well, no, because I'm Detroit Pride, and I was here in Hockey Town, USA in Vegas. I'm like, bullshit. And then I watched it, and I was like, ooh, we need to step up.
There's just one thing that Vegas knows how to do, son. It's put on a show.
Yeah, and I can't say I'm shocked that the person who has the biggest Lionel Richie collection out of anyone on this show thought that was a great show in and of itself in their beginning, because it's schlock, dude. It's borderline fucking get the fuck out of my face. That's embarrassing. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? That's what I got to fucking say. Play the fucking game. Maybe if you spent less time worrying about fucking how cool you were going to look to people in the middle of the fucking country and more time worried about, beating the Capitals, this would be a series instead of a fucking ass reaming like it is.
Well, I get you, but even people that don't like hockey like the opening act. So they're drawing in new fans.
Yeah, they're drawing in new fans like the same people who fucking watch the Super Bowl and talk through the game and tell you to shut up during the commercials. Those people don't give a fuck about football. Those people don't give a fuck about hockey. They're in it for the spectacle, and I understand. It's nice to put asses in fucking the seats, and I mean, they were going to have asses in the seats no matter what. Chris and I talked about this when they first announced Vegas was getting an expansion team. I said, even if they sucked, they're going to comp them seats out. Now I guarantee you they don't comp as many fucking seats as we thought they would.
Oh, hell no.
They know they can sell them bitches. I mean, quick, fast, in a hurry. And next year, guarantee you, next year's season ticket sales is a lock. It's a fucking lock. That's going to be one of the hottest tickets in town. Fuck Britney Spears. Fuck Donka Shane Boy or whoever the fuck. The two homos. Fuck the two homos with the Tigers who fucked around with them too long and one got eaten or whatever the fuck they are. And then Penn and Teller and all them. Yeah, fuck all them guys. This is going to be the hottest ticket in town next season.
Well, and we still have Celine Dion now. Don't forget Celine.
Boys to Men. They're there too.
Jesus God, it's like where all the bad music from the '90s went to go die. Yeah, that's it. This is why Vegas has a 24-hour drinking law for people who have taste. They decide to kill themselves that way. They can't handle living in that shithole.
At least now you got weed in addition to alcohol.
That's true.
Another thing to kill the pain.
But no, I mean, I've noticed a change in Ovechkin this season in the playoffs. There's been a couple of articles, mostly snarky ones from people who are, I would guess, they're the type that hang their fucking hat on Crosby and the Penguins as the face of the NHL and all this shit. Because it seems like these articles coming from these websites or these particular authors are always attacking anyone who is seen as a threat to Miss Crosby and his team of fucking, merry band of misfits. And, a lot of the attacks on Ovechkin has been, he just cares about his stats. He doesn't care about his team winning. Yeah, he scores a lot of goals. What's he want? Well, okay, I guess that. I mean, if you choose to look at it from that point of view, if we're going to apply that logic across the board, you got to say that about someone like, I don't know, Dan Marino, Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson. I mean, did these people strike you as people who just didn't give a shit about winning?
No.
It sure doesn't seem that way to me, you know. And it's almost like they're shaming him for being the player he is. I mean, half these articles can't decide whether they want to call him a power forward or a sniper. And I mean, I'm just like, he is what is considered a power forward today. He's what's considered a sniper back in the day. He's more, back in the day, he would be more along the lines of someone like a Brett Hull versus a Brendan Shanahan. But these days, in the days of, if there's a big hit, everybody's got to get into a fight, and they slap fight each other on the ice, and then the linesmen come over and go, okay, break it up, and wave dandelions in everyone's face and send them to their fucking respective corners for a fucking timeout on a naughty step. Yeah, he's a power forward these days. Back in the day, he'd be a joke to consider him a power forward. He throws the body around. That's one of the reasons I'd take him over someone like Crosby. He throws the body around. He gets the job done. And this year, I don't know how anyone could say he hasn't proven to be a fucking leader on the ice and in the locker room.
He cheers and congratulates every single player that's on the ice when the Capitals score, whether he's on the ice or not.
That's what I'm getting at. I mean, isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ! How many times did we even a team I hated growing up watching, like the Anal Munch, Joe Sakic, Forsberg, Deadmarsh, Ricci, even Lemieux, them guys, they didn't give a fuck who scored the goal. Did we win the fucking game? That's all that fucking matters. I mean, if you go back to Game 4 of the first cup that the Red Wings won in the 90s, the game-winning goal went to McCarty. And they were interviewing Yzerman after the game, and he said, you don't want to talk to me. You want to talk to Bobby Hall over here, who just scored the game-winning goal, the series-clinching goal. And he brought out Darren McCarty and sat him down and had the press interview him instead of sit there and talk about himself. That's...
You bring him up. Now, Tampa Bay had their exit. You think that opens the door for him to come to Detroit?
I don't know.
I don't either, but Tampa Bay got spanked. Like they didn't even deserve to be there. I was like, come on, they deserve to be there at least. Good God.
Well, they didn't show up in Game 7.
No, they didn't.
Wasn't that the game they got shut out like 4-0?
Game 7 was embarrassing. That is all that. It's for that entire organization, from the very top to the lowliest fan. That was an embarrassment to that organization. I was watching that and I was just like, wow, you're not even going to put up a fight? Okay. But I mean, here's the thing. You asked me about Yzerman coming back to Detroit as a general manager. I don't fucking know. Detroit is such a goddamn fucking mess right now. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even begin to speculate. I mean, you had a GM who said he's coming back whether he has a contract or not. I'm sorry, if you don't have I'm not showing up without a paycheck.
I know, right?
You know, and it's essentially what he was saying. And then they give him a 2-year contract so they can basically they can cut him after the end of next season and barely pay him anything in case Yzerman wants to come back. But they still hedge their bets by giving him a 2-year contract. So he's not a lame duck GM after the end of next season. It's just it's the same thing with the Pistons. Lack of GM and head coach right now. The Pistons are looking for a fucking head coach. Why don't you look for a GM first? What GM in his right mind is going to respectfully come here and be general manager of a team that Goris says, this is your head coach whether you wanted him or not? Everybody knows it goes from the GM down. The new GM comes in. Usually he wants to install his own regime.
Yeah, he just needs to get a GM and just go, here, you do it. Exactly.
I mean, I hate to say this right now. Take away the Lions, and of the other three, the Tigers are running the smoothest out of all the Detroit teams. That tells you something, because the Tigers is supposed to be a fucked up, blow it up year, no hope.
Oh my God, what did I see last week? When is it time to give this Tigers team some credit? It's like, when they're not in the worst division in fucking baseball. How about that one?
I understand you know, it's your nature to take the contrarian position, but they've been saying that shit for over a decade about the AL Central. And in that period of time, the AL Central sent more fucking representatives from the American League to the World Series than any other division.
No, but I'm talking about at this point in time. Like any other division, the Tigers would be in last or second to last. Though the NL West all of a sudden is a dumpster fire. But, like, yeah,
I mean,
I've seen the record, any other division, they would not be in second place.
But to keep it back to hockey, to answer your question about Yzerman, I hope Yzerman comes back. I think that there was a definite school of thought amongst Red Wings fans that they hoped Tampa won the cup this year because maybe Yzerman would look at it as like, I've done my job here. Now let me go rebuild the team that I spent my entire career with. You know, let me go bring them back to some form of respectability, make them a destination hockey club again. But then there's also this very legitimate point that has been made by multiple sports writers, sports talk personalities in this area, which is, who the fuck wants to be in Detroit? Take those big contracts away. The careers are over with. Everybody fucking leaves. Nobody stays. Where's Lindstrom? He don't live in the Detroit area. Where's Yzerman? Yzerman isn't living here. He's living in Florida. I mean, where are all them guys from those Red Wing teams? Where's all the guys from the going to work, the bad boy Pistons? Unless they have jobs in this area, they're not here. I mean, so if that's the case, it's got to tell you something. This is not a desirable place to live. It's not a desirable place. I mean, it's just not. I don't know any other way to put it, man.
Yeah. 1/3 of this podcast said, peace, I'm out. Later, guys. Have fun.
I mean, so, and to be honest with you, all three of us had in the last couple of years contemplated a move out of state.
That is true. Absolutely.
And this is all our home state, all our home area. So what's that tell you? But it'd be nice if Yzerman would come back. I can't give it better than I can't give it better than I can't even say 50-50 odds at this point. And here's the thing: hockey players. Yzerman played under Bowman, who was a master of talking loud but saying nothing. And it was always, a player's injured. Well, he's got a lower body injury. That could mean anything from a fucking hangnail on his big toe to a blown hamstring. You never knew. I mean, Yzerman came up and flourished under that type of coach. So he's never going to tell you what he's fucking thinking. And I mean, the fact that he spent his entire career here, where are all the sports writers asking him flat out where he's going? Has he thought about coming back to Detroit? How come that hasn't happened? Because believe me,
white privilege.
If there's a sports writer who thinks that there's an athlete who isn't happy in Detroit, they'll print that shit quick, fast, and in a hurry, looking at you, Miggy. Yeah, just because we weren't on the fucking air for the last couple of weeks doesn't mean I didn't know what the fuck was going on. That whole fucking thing with Miguel Cabrera happened, where somebody from Miami said, oh, he's miserable in Detroit. He didn't want to be here in Detroit. He says he thinks he doesn't get enough credit in Detroit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I watched this entire fucking the sports media in Detroit, not the entire, that's an exaggeration, but the lion's share of them turn on Miggy in a heartbeat and say, well, he never has time to talk to any of the local sports writers. And all of a sudden his English fails him when they do stick a mic in his face. But anytime a national MLB network or somebody wants to talk to him, boy, all of a sudden he speaks perfect English and he can sit there and do the goofy, back and forth and so and so.
Was he like the gremlin who learned to talk? All of a sudden he's got perfect English. Hey guys, how's it going?
The city's so nice they named it twice. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot surrounding that just to be honest with you, we're not privy to. We're not insiders in the Detroit sports scene. We are literally what the fucking intro says. Half-ass sports fans giving our half-ass sports opinion. If you want a podcast that's going to have people from the local sports organizations on, this ain't the one. So I can only speculate as to what's going on. But I mean, if this talk, and I mean, Think of how fucking hard we are on our sports teams unless they're winning. And even then, you got a lot of people, usually people who aren't from this area, who came to this area, made their bones in this area, and are riding this area out till they get a bigger contract in L.A. or New York, Mike Valenti, who do nothing but shit on this area. Even when the teams are doing well. Mid-2000 lockout, he was, that's it for the Red Wings. That's it for the Red Wings. Yeah, they only went to 2 Stanley Cup finals after that. Rob Parker did the same thing. Drew Sharp did it. He made a fucking career out of it. So, I mean, ask yourself, put yourself in Steve Yzerman's shoes. Would you want to come back to Detroit with the state of the Red Wings the way it is? The hostility in the media towards all Detroit sports at this point? And the microscope that this area is under for all the wrong reasons. MSU, Matt Patricia, MSU version 2.0, a.k.a. a guy fucking a dog.
What?
Oh, you didn't hear about that one?
I heard.
I mean, and then on top of it, look what's going on with the Pistons. Like I said, dumpster fire there. You have an owner who hasn't hired a GM yet. He's going to U of M's head coach and saying, hey, we want to interview you for the Pistons job. I'm sorry, John Beilein's like, he's a good college coach, but he's like, what, 150? How fucking old is he? You're going to hire him for a Pistons job and then put a GM in there who's going to go, can I get someone who, I don't know, wasn't collecting Social Security when we bombed the Japanese twice? I mean, this ain't the hotbed it was for 20 years, and we've been spoiled. We really, except for Lions fans. Lions fans, oof. You're the slow fat kid that the child molesters always catch up to and fuck. That's the problem with Lions fans, but that's you guys are used to it by now. Your assholes have no elasticity at this point. But I mean, we had the Red Wings. Well, no, if you really want to get down to it, we had the Tigers in the 80s, and in the late 80s we had the Pistons, and then we had the run the Red Wings went on, and then we had the Pistons again in the 2000s, plus the Red Wings, plus the Tigers. Yeah, they never won a World Series, but except for from between 2016 and 2014, except for 2008, they were always in the mix. Now what do we have? Tigers just went 8-4 on their latest homestand, and people were fucking acting like they just won the World Series.
I was surprised they took a series from the Angels. The Angels are supposed to be good.
There you go. They have the quote-unquote best player in baseball, Mike Trout, and the hottest story in baseball with Ohtani right now. I mean, anyways, yeah.
All right. So from good. Iceman's back on the line. He had some technical difficulties.
Well, let's just get this out of the way. You picked the Capitals to win the Cup. You think there's any chance Vegas comes back on the Capitals?
Fuck no. You did at this point. You have to win. You think you're winning 3 in a row against the Capitals if you're Vegas? Nope. You might win 2
if it's written that way.
Oh, shut up! Oh boy. But from one playoff to the other. Here we go. The NBA Finals. I mean, we joked about it all year, but really, I mean, it's playing out. Who's going to lose to Golden State? And here we are. 4th year in a row. Now, are you guys in the club of... I think it's the cool thing to do this year. Of everyone's bitching about, here we go again. Golden State and Cleveland. 4th year in a row. Boring.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm there.
So what? I mean, that's what I say to everybody. What's the big deal? Golden State beat the best team in the league. Cleveland beat the best team in the East. Everyone's talking about Toronto, and Cleveland fucking swept them.
Cleveland swept them so bad. Toronto, whose coach won Coach of the Year, got the boot.
Yeah. Later.
See ya.
Have a good one, dick. Hey, take your trophy to your new office.
Which means there might be more to that story.
As in?
Well, I'm just saying, you have a year like Toronto had, with the hopefulness Toronto had, went through the first round, no problem. You get to the second round, and you're like,
they were the best team in the East.
Like you didn't even know like you had no idea what the fuck you were doing. They're not the best team in the East. Stop it.
Yeah, they were at second half of the season. Yes, they fucking were. They were the number 1 seed.
Yeah, after everybody got injured.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah,
Well, I mean, let's take it as the games happen. First of all, hi J.R. Smith. How's it feel to be the new Chris Webber?
Oh, damn. Oh, God. That was horrible.
I mean, how many people do, okay, would you say worldwide there were 30 million people watching that game maybe? So worldwide.
Oh, probably more than that.
Probably more than that. Yet he's the only one who didn't realize the situation he was in.
Whoops.
And then he tried to say, oh, well, I thought we were going to call a timeout.
Well, first he said, I thought we were ahead. That's what he told LeBron.
Exactly. Then when everyone was like, you're telling me let's lowball it, 30 million people watching this game, you, a motherfucker, holding the ball, all the focus in the world of anyone who's watching this game is on you, didn't know the situation? That's when it became, well, I thought we were going to call a timeout.
Well, look, the way I see it, everybody, is going to have a debacle. I mean, it happens so frequently. Chris calls me out on it all the time. Don't put yourself in that position where one play is going to make you or break you. That type of shit's going to happen.
That was just somebody being dumb. What was your favorite meme? I'm sure you guys saw all the memes. Do you have a favorite one?
My favorite, okay, well, the one, obviously, the picture is of LeBron holding his arms out. You see the back of J.R. Smith, and it said, after you beat your meat, and then your girl says she's ready for you, and LeBron's like,
See, what was the one that said, when your partner cuts you in spades?
That's death. Do not cut Rich. Oh my God, because he'll cut you in real life, man. He will cut the shit out of you.
See the one he had holding the baby?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, this is like him holding the baby, him holding the cake. Oh, it was great.
I saw one where he had the Infinity Gauntlet and J.R. Smith was blowing away.
I'll tell you what, as fucked up as that play was, and as funny as LeBron's reaction was, that's the difference. That right there is the epitome why I don't like LeBron.
Why? Because he was going, what the fuck?
Stop. Because LeBron, that is the difference between someone like him and someone like Alex Ovechkin. It would be the same thing as somebody missed a wide open net, or somebody took it back to the blue line thinking they were ahead. Alex Ovechkin would have came over and explained him, the situation and said, we'll get him next time. Yeah. No, not LeBron. In front of God and country and millions of watching around the world, you're going to embarrass your teammate right there on national TV more than he just did himself.
Yes.
Way to lead. LeBron, way to lead.
Whatever, dude. You're acting like he's the only player that's ever done. Like, come on. I think that's just being unfair to the man. I think anyone in that situation would have been like, what the fuck are you doing?
If you're going to call somebody the greatest player ever, you don't embarrass a team on national TV like that.
Whatever. All right, cool.
I will say that the one meme that I really liked that was not the LeBron holding his arms out was a picture of LeBron looking at his phone, and it said, it was a Google search page, and it said, can you trade a player before game 2 of the finals?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, look, man, I understand what you're saying, Earl. That is like, you've got to be shitting me type fucking,
yeah.
What are you doing? It doesn't matter what face he put on for the public or J.R. Smith or for the rest of the team. That was the reaction. Go back and watch that Fab Five documentary.
Oh, no, I saw it.
Yeah, but there are 4 other guys on the floor with the same look.
They all said the right thing in retrospect. They all said the right thing at the time. They all said, we knew how bad Chris wanted it, and it was just a mental hiccup and this and that. But they all fucking, at that moment, were like, what the fuck? No!
Yeah. Fucking idiot. A layup and no overtime.
Right, but somebody on the bench told Chris Webber to call a timeout.
No, yeah, there was some idiot's hands up in the air making the timeout gesture. But once again, situational awareness comes into play.
I totally agree. Totally. But here's the thing. That cost the Fab Five the championship. Okay. J.R. Smith running the ball out thinking he was ahead didn't cost him the game. It cost it to go into overtime.
No, I absolutely agree, but I also have to say that pretty much once I saw it was going in overtime, I'm like, oh, this game's over. And Cleveland ain't winning.
No, Cleveland got spanked like a little baby in overtime. But, I mean, it was bad, and it was definitely a how in the hell did you not, whatever, dude, moment. But it wasn't a make or break moment. They weren't down a point, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I saw it different.
It wasn't a make or break moment. He scored a layup, that game's over. Cleveland wins because what? Because there's maybe a second left, enough time to inbound the ball and heave it from full court. If you're Golden State, before. Yeah, but that's like a lot. That's lottery ticket shit right there, as far as chances of making that shot, as opposed to the sure money of layup, boom, done.
Well, the other thing I never got was even if he thought he was up. He out-rebounded Golden State. He had a clear layup shot, just a clear path to the bucket. Even if you're ahead, lay the fucking basket up.
Just do it. Yeah, exactly.
Be more ahead.
Yeah, if you're ahead 2, now you're ahead 4. No, I hear you. Fuck it. This ain't football. You don't need to fucking take a knee.
That's what he was doing, too.
Dumb motherfucker. Guess who's not on Cleveland next year?
LeBron.
I know, right?
He's already fucking like, that's it. That was it. Done. I mean, if he stays,
in LA.
If he stays, they got pictures of him hanging out with R. Kelly pissing on little babies or something. I don't know. I cannot imagine he's staying after this. No, even then he might be like, you know what? Fuck it. R. Kelly got away with it. Post him. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Photoshop. Adobe cellophane player. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And then he ends up in LA. He's going to go resurrect the Lakers and finish his career there. Shit, even if he does win. He's like, sorry, Cleveland. I got to go do this. The Lakers need me because they're a joke.
Well, they're not bringing... who's the Ball brother? The one who would be eligible?
Oh, the one who got arrested in China?
D'Angelo?
Yeah, he ain't going to L.A. They already said that. I saw an article about that. They're like, no, we're good. Thanks.
Yeah.
We're full up. We got all the balls in our mouths we want right now.
But, yeah, I mean, do you guys see... you see Golden State being stopped?
Oh, God, no. From the time they won the championship last year, they weren't going to be stopped. 4 of your 5 starters are all-stars. Damn near Hall of Famers. A couple of first ballot Hall of Famers. No. Take the greatest in the world with LeBron and no.
I think at this point the question is it a sweep or does Cleveland make a series out of it?
I want so bad. So fucking bad for a plethora of reasons for this to be a sweep. And I know it won't be.
No, man, LeBron needs help. I'm saying it for him. LeBron needs help. He can't do it all himself. Pretty much fucking is. He's been doing it the whole series. But, I mean, against Golden State, I mean, they're stacked. LeBron brought him to the finals on his shoulders. I mean, he's going to need help. You can't go against... It's not like David versus Goliath. It's David versus Goliaths, plural.
It's Goliath and his whole fucking family.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that meme of that little blonde chick sitting on the couch and there's like 5 huge black guys standing around.
Pretty much.
And now it's time to make a phone call. Uh-huh. Yeah. Better call somebody. You're going to need something.
Dude, if he's scoring 51 and they're losing, man, like, he needs help.
That's the other thing. That's a number that stuck out in my mind. 51. He scored 51 points.
That game, he scored 44% of his team's total offense by himself.
You know what it reminds me of? A certain goalie in Game 5 of a conference finals back in the 90s stopping 51 to 52. Shit.
And lost.
It's what it reminds me of.
and you just got to picture that for a minute. 52 fucking shots on goal. Where was his team? I don't even care about the score. 52 fucking shots on a goalie. And he stopped them all. But what? Really?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're LeBron, like 51, bitch. Like, come on, man. I put 51 of them on there.
And that was with them trying to stop me. This isn't like Kobe's last game, where it's like an all-star game where everyone...
Yeah.
The minute Kobe got the ball, everyone ran to opposite ends of the fucking court to get away from him to make sure he was open.
Even a hot dog vendor fed Kobe in his last game.
Exactly. This is them trying to stop him, and he still scored that many points. Not a big LeBron fan. Got to give him credit on that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that motherfucker was just like, yeah, well, all right. Thank God I got broad shoulders. Everybody climb up on here.
Yeah, LeBron turned into Shaggy. Wasn't me. You lost. Wasn't me.
Yeah, I did my part.
And his part and his part. So, yeah, I did the equivalent to 3 starters out of 5's part. And here we sit. Yeah. Oh, and I mean, you know, it's the cliche line. It's not a series until the home team loses. They're going back to Cleveland. I mean, do they win these next 2 games in Cleveland? Do the Cavs win these next 2 games?
Like I said, I want, for a plethora of different reasons, for this to be a sweep. It won't be. I think it'll be a split, and the Warriors win in 5. And then I'll go back to the old cliche of, they only lost so they could win at home.
Yeah, because that's how professional athletes think. Yeah.
And how many times will we hear the word dynastic in the post-game coverage this year?
Dude, when they win this series, it is a dynasty. 4 years? You win 3 out of 4?
Wouldn't it be 4 out of the last 5 years? Because they won in 2013, didn't they?
No, This is the 4th year.
I'm saying, wouldn't it be 4 out of the last 5 years if they win this year, with the only other one being Cleveland?
No, this is their 4th year in the final straight. They have only been to 4.
So it'd be 3 out of 4.
Right.
Not 4 out of 5.
Right. That's a dynasty.
Now, I know Google has the answer to this one. What are the official requirements for a dynasty?
And then when you look it up, it says, "See Golden State Warriors." Well, look, is there any doubt that if Jordan hadn't taken that year off to play baseball, that he'd have won 7 in a row?
No, there is zero doubt. And it's backed up by the fact that when he came back, he won 2 more. So no.
He won 3 more in a row. He had 2 3-peats.
I thought he came back in 95 and won 95 and 96.
He's 6-0 in the finals. They had 3-peats. They had a 3-peat. He retired. Then he came back and they had another 3.
Right now.
6, 96, 97, 98. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I mean, obviously that's a dynasty. Celtics, Lakers, they've been a dynasty. I mean,
Cowboys, 49ers, dynasty. Green Bay, dynasty.
Good news, there are no official requirements for a dynasty. It's also open-ended. So thanks for nothing, Internet.
In my opinion, you have to be a contender for, I'm saying, at least 4 years, and you have to have won at least 1 championship in that span of 4 years. I mean, that's one of the reasons that, New England doesn't win every year, but who would dare not call them a dynasty since Brady took over? Because they're in it every single fucking year. You have to at some point, unless something happens, plan, if you're in the AFC, to go through New England.
Yeah,
Chairman of the NFL hates cats.
As long as you got Bill and Belichick. Or Bill and Brady. Yeah. That's that dynasty in New England. So,
I mean, yeah, I know it's whatever. It's dynastic. That's like it's like woke. It's just an annoying word. But I mean, dynasty, yes, it does fit what the Warriors are doing. And I mean, they're doing it even. They're not doing it in the free for all, days. They're doing it in the salary cap, salary restrictions, max contract days. You have to give them credit for it. And I hate Pittsburgh. You got to consider them a dynasty. Just because they got knocked out by DC or DC, Washington this year, to me doesn't mean shit. Because they're going to be in the playoffs next year. They're going to be heavily favored in almost any series they're in, unless they go up against the Capitals and the Capitals are champs. Even then, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people picking against the Capitals.
Are there any baseball dynasties right now?
Yankees.
We did have one at the beginning of the 2010s.
Yeah, with the Bostons.
No, San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Boston only won, like 2.
LA
hasn't won shit. That's the problem.
Well, that's true, too.
If they'd won one World Series and had been there every year, been a contender every year. But you got to look at San Francisco. 2010 World Series, 2012 World Series, 2014 World Series. They were like, is it an even year in the 2010s? We're winning a World Series. 2016 broke their streak.
Badly.
But, that's obviously 90s. Forget it. 90s, that was all Yankees. There was a 4 or 5 year period where it was like, okay, it's the Yankees and who else in the World Series. This is how much of a dynasty the Yankees were in the 90s. I said to a fellow sports fan at work that the Padres were in the World Series in 98, and he had to look it up on his phone. He knew the Yankees won the World Series that year. He couldn't remember who they played. I'm like, they played the fucking Padres, man. He's like, the Padres went to the World Series? In 98? I'm like, yes, you don't remember that? No. I'm like, all right. Then you got the we're going to buy ourselves a championship Marlins in 97, who they blew up the next year.
But they did. Ooh, did they ever? Ooh.
And then the 2000s, I would, if we're giving dynasties away to cities, Boston, period. 2000s was Boston's decade. Boston became title town for those 10 years.
Yeah, all 4 got a championship in those 10 years. That's nuts.
1, 2, 3 for the Pats, 2 for the Red Sox, one which broke 108 years?
Yes.
That was the one. I mean, that was the one that was 2004, and I was like, I don't really care about Boston one way or the other. But when they fucking came back down 3-0, I was like, go ahead, win it all, man. Just get it over with.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was a Boston fan for that very short period of time, unless you were a New York Yankees fan. And then
you had the championship that the Celtics bought.
The Big Three, the original 2000s versions of the super team that they put together.
And then how many did the Bruins? How many have they had? Just 1 or 2? Or didn't they have 2?
Oh, 1, I believe. 2011. So they're kind of on the tail end of that. I mean, if you want to start in 2001 season to 2011, that would, for that 10-year stretch, yeah. Definitely, Boston was title town, dynasty town, however you want to look at it.
They played for a couple times since, all right. Yeah, they only won in 2011, yeah.
There is a little bit of trouble in Dynastic Town, though.
Why, what's that?
Thompson isn't signing a contract extension.
Ooh, what will they do?
Well, I was watching morning talk shows, and they were saying things like,
Here comes LeBron. This is where he comes in?
Oh, no.
They just win like 9 in a row.
Answer me this, Chris. You'll watch it enough, you'll know. Is Klay Thompson a LeBron? Is he a Kyrie Irving? a James Harden, can he go somewhere and have his own team?
No.
Well, and that's the majority of people's, answers is no. And a lot of the times people forget that Klay Thompson's out there. When they first won their first title, he was huge. They were the Splash Brothers. He was the man. But now it's like, oh, and Klay. Because when people think of the Warriors, they're like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Jerome Iguodala, Sean Livingston. Oh, Klay Thompson's out there too.
Yeah, no, he's a supporting player. I think he needs to realize it. But hey, he could just want to try to get paid while the getting's good. Fucking do it, dude.
Well, yeah, he already has titles, plural.
Yeah.
Time to make the change
Those
now.
titles will get you paid for the rest of your career, no matter where you go.
For the rest of your grandchildren's lives.
There you go. Leaves the door open for LeBron. There you go. And then they'll just win till for the next 5 years. So you don't like that idea?
He's not going to Golden State.
What if he does?
He's not going to Golden State.
What if he does the most LeBron thing ever and he signs a contract for $1 just to play
Not
with Golden
going
State?
to Golden State.
Oh. So.
That's more of a wishful, hopeful statement than an accurate one.
So now we talked about the 2 playoffs that are going on. There's something kind of big happened since we all have been together last. And you guys still with me?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure. And I wanted to ask this question earlier. Like, how many guys do you think are going to be pissed that aren't going to get $10,000 from putting down $20 on the Vegas Knights in Vegas? But and that's what I was talking about. Sports betting. It's game on for sports betting since we have last gotten together. Like that was kind of a holy shit thing out of nowhere. Did you guys, were you aware that was even happening?
No.
Here's the thing. For gamblers, it was a holy shit. If you're like me and you don't gamble, it was like, I didn't even know that was on the table, just like you said.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't make enough to gamble. So I'm like, no big deal. All right. But I mean, I understand how it's a big deal as far as sports go, and I mean, doesn't this pretty much open up? Oh shit! Who were some of the big gambling sites that they went after and shut down?
With DraftKings, FanDuel, all that crap.
Yeah, I mean, this opens the door for them. Am I correct?
At least.
Should.
Well, I mean, because before everything had to be offshore or out of United States territory.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just they don't have to play that game.
Nope. No, it's come one, come all. Hey, you got money? Come on in. Well, I mean, true, but also it's each state has to put their plan in place. Apparently, of what I was hearing is California already had something cooking. They knew this was coming, so it should be game on in California pretty quickly. And then, I mean, any state that's got casinos, this is just what? This is just make another spot in your casino?
Yeah. I mean, shit, I'm wondering somewhere, is Pete Rose thinking, this is my way to get back into the Hall of Fame, or to get into the Hall of Fame?
Right?
You know, why not? If it's on the table, but I mean, he was placing bets from the dugout. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I think is always going to keep him out.
Right, but I also think it opens the door for that as well. Tinfoil hat theories. All of a sudden, the Knights can't score. All of a sudden, Fleury can't stop shit. Somebody's being paid because somebody bet on the game.
What did I hear? Adam Carolla's theory right now is keep an eye on the long snapper. He's one of the most underpaid people on the team. That's the guy that could fuck up a spread real easy.
And a quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the other part of this conversation. I mean, besides 30 for 30s are going to be real interesting now. Give us about 20 years. But are we worried now this is going to taint the sport somehow? Or all the sports. Is this going to fuck with shit? I mean, it's.
I think it's not going to be like the WWE where it's scripted, and I don't think you're really going to get to players to really throw the games. But there's already been evidence and issues with referees, interfering, and I think that's going to actually be a concern.
But my whole point, I guess, with that is that's when it was illegal. And I mean, that's the whole thing. My whole thing is it's not like all of a sudden we're bringing something into existence that didn't already exist. It's just going to spread. It's already here. It already exists. It's just going to take most of it out of the black market.
I think it's going to take a while to get it out of the black market, just like it did with Vegas. When Vegas, I mean, if you go back and understand Casino is a movie who has its roots in reality, but it's been Hollywood, it's the Hollywood version of reality. I understand that. But what is not a bullshit part of that movie is the ending, where they're talking about, when Vegas first started, it was, an adult playground full of sin.
And 5 casinos.
and the mob was in there. They had their hands in there, et cetera, et cetera. Politicians were crooked. And then what happens in America these days happens. Corporations come in because they're the gangsters these days, and they took over everything. I mean, remember when Vegas went through that transformation from Sin City to it's a family destination spot? I mean, it's only been the last 10, maybe 15 years that they've started that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas shit again. Like during the 90s, I remember there was a Star Trek fucking attraction at a casino where you could go on the next a copy of the Next Generation's bridge. And I'm like, what? You don't go to Vegas to go fucking visit Star Trek attractions.
Does the hooker blow you on the bridge?
Exactly. Is Deanna Troi is a hooker dressed like Deanna Troi underneath the captain's chair tossing salad? I mean, you go to Vegas to drink 24 hours a day for free, give your money to people who have crooked noses and vowels at the end of their name, and do other illicit shit. What is it they said? Don't be a menace. So I see under your hobbies it says you like to smoke weed, drink 40s, and all types of ill shit.
Yeah. It's behind the Welcome to Vegas sign.
Welcome to Vegas, where we do all types of ill shit. That's what Vegas was for. So, but no, honestly, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have slowly the bookies, the illegal bookies, et cetera, they're going to start to lose power. There's always going to be a place for them, but they're not going to have the foothold on the industry that they do now. As more and more casinos start opening their own sports books, it's going to slowly sap their power. Of course, there's going to always be people who want to bet over their head. And casinos, it's like, do you have a deed to your house? No, you don't own your house, you rent. What about your car? Oh, you borrowed your buddy's car to get here? Yeah, well, it's not really good at the tables. It's not really
I have seen people literally sell their car and end up walking home from the casino. No bullshit.
But what I'm saying is a bookie will always fucking go, okay, you want to bet over your head? That's fine, because if you don't pay, you'll pay one way or the other.
You got 2 knees that you look like you don't need over there.
Yeah. Vegas ain't going to do, legitimate sports betting ain't going to do that. They're just going to bankrupt you. They're going to fuck your credit rating, not your fucking joints up. So I think that's what's eventually going to happen. And I mean, does that really raise the chance of the players, the officials, changing the outcome of the game to make some money? Hasn't that always been there? They already went through this with the NBA. I mean, Jesus Christ. You watch half the game, half the fucking regular season NCAA basketball games, and I'm wondering how many of these are fixed, because I really don't mean shit half the time. Harvard's playing. Harvard ain't gonna be fucking in the Final Four. Fix that fucking game, make some money.
I forget. I don't know if we talked about it or not. but I know it was shared in the chat. Somebody was talking about, said they were asked to throw games in college all the time. Like it.
Yeah, I mean,
is that a surprise?
Yeah, it's not like a remote experience or anything that you know. You hear about like back in the day and shit. I'm sure it happens. It's still going to happen. It happens now. Nothing new is under the sun. Sadly, what's going to happen is a lot of people who have gambling problems are going to go broke a lot quicker. And let's be honest, there's going to be a lot of sports fans who are going to start betting who maybe wouldn't have wanted to deal with the fact of, you know, going to the strip club and dealing with a bookie and all that and getting the fucking this and that, who can now just do it legally and feel, you know, secure in doing it. And it's football season is going to be real interesting. There's going to be a lot of money changing hands during Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
Iceman might be betting on his own picks. I'm just going to throw that out there.
And there you go. Yeah, there you go. Didn't think about that. Make this shit real interesting. I know. Sports betting just always sounds like a raw deal to me. Wait, I got to bet $120 to win 100? How the fuck does that work?
And I have to buy a half a point if we tie, so I win?
How about
Shut up.
How about I bet $100 to win $100? Can I do that? No.
Yeah,
Then they ask you to leave, sir.
Unless it's just a straight up bet, like who's going to win the series or the game. Excuse me. And even then, I've usually been too poor. There's drugs and alcohol to spend my money on. I'd rather, you know, throw that piss it away that way than piss it away on a bet. So it's just not something that I've ever been into. I work hard for my money. If I'm going to give it to somebody, I want to get high.
Yeah.
You know?
I need a dopamine hit if I'm giving it away. So, what else do we want to talk about? Did you guys see Andrew Luck's dad was named the first ever commissioner of the NFL, XFL?
Yep. Left the NCAA to do it too.
What's that?
Which left the NCAA to do it too, didn't he?
No shit.
Did he work for the NCAA?
Wow. Yeah. I did not know that.
Which makes me think I'm wondering, has Luck threw his last pass as an NFL quarterback?
I know, right?
He's just gonna go, I'm just gonna take my guaranteed money. I'm gonna go play for my dad.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah, I'll have a good one.
And what does that say about how well does the NCAA not pay, apparently?
Well, that would suck because they just made over $1 billion.
Or is this Andrew Luck's dad trying to? Is this a legitimacy move by Vinnie Mac? Because wasn't he the head of the XFL last time?
Was.
Oh, I can't remember. I have no idea.
So I mean, is this a football move, as they like to say?
Well, it's a smart one, left, right, or sideways. I mean, it does throw a little legitimacy to it, if nothing else.
I mean, he's oh shit, what's Andrew Luck's dad's name? Oh, Oliver Luck. I mean, he's a respected executive. He's an executive vice president in the NCAA. So I would imagine this is either let's go make some money, or he legitimately thinks there's a chance that this could last.
Some Goodell backlash.
Not to completely segue into it, but it's a great one. Where the NFL is right now, I mean, XFL and the other one, what is it, the AFF or whatever? Those two leagues could hold ground right now because there's a lot of people pissed off at NFL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the NFL's taken some major hits, and they're to the point where I don't think that they can fucking satisfy everybody. Or, excuse me, first of all, they can never satisfy everybody. I don't think they can satisfy either side at this point.
Well, they took their better late than never approach because now they've made it to you have to stand for the national anthem to be on the field. You could stay in the locker room, but if you're on the field, you better stand. You take a knee, there's consequences and repercussions.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty.
No, there's fines to be handed to the team.
No, there's a 15-yard penalty.
I thought there was only a fine to the team.
No, there's both.
Huh. So, yeah, so better late than never, I guess.
But I mean, the point is that you're going to piss the players off who want to fucking protest. You're going to piss the players off who aren't against the protest but don't want to protest necessarily themselves. You're going to piss the fans off. Now you've got opened the door for the argument of, is this government meddling in private businesses, aka fucking around and flirting with violating the First Amendment? It's a clusterfuck. And like I said, no one's going to be happy. No one's going to be fucking happy. Everybody's pissed off. No one's happy. What was it Louis C.K. said? Everything's wonderful, but everybody's miserable. Everything's great. No one's happy. Football, it's the biggest sport in the country. Yet they find a way to fucking lose viewership over nonsense. Either when the shit happened the first time, do something about it, or just say, whatever, we're not going to do anything about it, and that's just the way it is. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. Go away. We don't care. And then drop the subject. Because here's the deal. Keeping it in the forefront of people's mind for the, third season now is what's going to keep costing them fucking viewership. If they'd have just fucking took a hardline stance 3 seasons ago, excuse me, or just said, we're not going to do anything about it. Y'all can cry and bitch and moan on Twitter as much as you want. Ain't going to change anything. We're done talking about it. Anyone who mentions it gets hit with a fucking ridiculous fine, so don't even bother asking questions. We'd have moved on to different fucking stories in the NFL by now. But the fact that they were so wishy-washy has kept this shit at the forefront of people's minds. Because look who's arguing about this shit online. People that don't give a fuck about the NFL for the most part. People that are fucking political ideologues that are entrenched in the far fucking reaches of the political spectrum are using this as bullshit to lob bombs back and forth at each other like they've won something. Really? Did you get your NFL Players Can't Kneel prize? Did you get that in the mail, Ice? Because I sure as fuck didn't. So who's won anything? Who's won anything? Just a bunch of bullshit nonsense. And once again, NFL handled it like shit. Now it's coming back to bite them. If they wanted to fucking end Colin Kaepernick's career, they've done a horrible job because they've given him a second career now as a fucking martyr for all these political fucking morons.
I find it funny. The NBA was like, well, we've always had you must stand for the national anthem policy. And now they're fucking up trying to take a page out of the NFL book. NBA is now going to give the coaches a challenge.
How? How is this? How are we talking about this now? What? Huh?
Listen, NBA is trying to say, well, we had to stand for the anthem policy this whole time. Good for you. Keep going. No. Now we're going to give the coaches a challenge. Because they're going to try this in the summer league. Taking a page out of the NFL and let the coaches challenge a call or a non-call.
How the fuck does that have anything to do with the national anthem?
You didn't hear how I prefaced it. I got you. Okay. No, it's what I said is they said NBA has always had a stand for the national anthem policy.
Okay. Heard the first 3 times.
Okay. And now they're trying to take a page out of the NFL book as they're going to take one of ours, we're going to take one of theirs. I don't know why they're doing it. I think it's the stupidest idea I've heard, but they're doing it.
Well, why not? I mean, we've had many instances in the last, actually in the playoffs here in the last couple of weeks, NBA playoffs, where they've come out the next day and said, oh yeah, no, Russ blew that call. Why shouldn't the NBA refs get the option to go, hey, yeah, nope, don't like that call?
No, it's going to fuck with the gameplay so bad.
What? As far as how? Pace? I mean, how many challenges are they going to get? Like 8? Or are they going to get 1 per half?
Well, the full thing, all the details aren't ironed out because they're going through the summer league. They're not trying it in the actual season yet. So as far as I know, they're only getting 1. But even that, you're fucking up with the pace of the game.
What? It's like another timeout, is what I imagine.
Well, kind of, but you're fucking with the pace of the game because in a hometown boy, actually made the best point I've heard about it. Okay, when coaches challenge in football, that's fine because football players go back to a huddle. Okay, once a basket is made in basketball, you got a fast break opportunity sometimes, but if you get a challenge, it fucks that up.
Yeah, but it could be. But again, it's just like giving him another timeout. What's the big deal?
You're stopping fast breaks. It's not even a. It's not even a timeout.
You can do it with a timeout though. You could call a timeout when someone starts on a fast break.
Not if they get it in fast enough. You can't.
That's true. But I mean, okay. But what are the parameters with the challenge? They can just throw it whenever.
Yeah, you could challenge whatever, whenever. You could challenge a foul, not a foul. You could challenge a basket, not a basket. Goaltending. Was he on the 3-point line? Was he on the other half of the side of the court? Who touched it last? You challenge anything.
So what? I'm sure there was a big to do when the shot clock showed up, and it's just another. It's except if it's one per half. I don't see what the big deal is.
It's not needed. That's what the big deal is.
You know, as much as I sit here and I rail against the core of games of sports that we grew up with changing, it's pissing into a ceiling fan, man. It's doing absolutely fucking nothing. All right. We're all just going to have to get used to it. I give it less than 10 years before they have balls and strikes decided by a computer. And it'll probably be the way that when Real Sports had Eric Burns call a minor league game with a computer calling balls and strikes. What they did was the computer decided whether it was a ball and strike. It told through an earpiece into Eric Burns, that was in Eric Burns' ear, what it was, and he called it just like a regular umpire. If you didn't know it was happening, you'd have no idea that a computer was calling the game. And that's going to happen. That's going to change the core of the game. The NHL, forget it. It's not even the same fucking game as it was 15, 20 years ago. It's a completely different game. And I mean, even the most hardcore supporters of the game in the way it was 20 years ago, myself included, have thrown the fucking towel in and said there's no point. At a certain point, you're the old man standing on the corner wanting to call black people, Negroes and coloreds, because you ain't gonna change. It's the way I grew up. It's the way I'm gonna be.
And here's the thing, Rich, and that's true. That's all true. But what's the state of the NHL right now?
It does not matter, dude. What is the state of the nation? People don't give a fuck. Q Propecia. Who gives a fuck? People don't care, dude. People don't care. Everything that we hold sacred will be sacrificed in the name of progress. That's what people who are younger than us care about. Something that has been drilled into my head against my will in the last couple of years is working with a predominantly younger group of people. And I'm talking people 25 and under. They don't give a fuck about what happened before they were born. It does not matter to them. They don't want to hear about music from 20, 15, 10 years ago. They don't care. And it's not that, we have friends who might have heard of the Beatles, or not, but everyone heard of the Beatles when we were growing up, period. If you didn't know who the Beatles were when we were growing up, we looked at you, rightfully so, like you escaped from the short bus. But there might have been someone, and we do have a mutual friend, I won't put him on blast on the show, who is like, I fucking hate the Beatles. We looked at him like, okay, all right, you hate the Beatles. You're fucking strange, but all right. This generation goes, I don't know who the Beatles are, and I don't care to know who they are. Fuck them. They don't care about what we grew up with, dude.
It's more old white men.
Exactly.
No, I get what you're saying, Rich, but
don't say the word but or however or at the same time after what you just said, because that is your way of dismissing what I'm saying. No, deal with what I said.
No, I got what you said, man. I do. I totally agree with what you said. They don't care. And in doing so, they're killing sports. All of them.
They're killing the tradition in sports that we grew up with that has been there for fucking a very long time. But just like Branch Rickey, who brought in fucking Jackie Robinson, and the other owners and other franchises in baseball who started bringing in black players, we're going, we don't care that there's always been Negro leagues. That's not the way this country is going anymore. This is the way these people are looking at it. And you can't even argue with them, because How can you argue facts with someone who doesn't care about facts? You can't. So what you either have to do is go, I'm done, and wash your hands of it, which sucks, but that's pretty much what I've done with the regular season with hockey because I cannot stand to watch that boring ass shit. Or you got to fucking suck it up and try to find something you like about it. And as it stands right now, the only sport I have any hope for of enjoying the regular season as much as I used to is football.
And see, that's my issue, is I fear that football, baseball, hockey, all of them, the only way I'm going to get to watch them is if I buy the sports package or watch it live on YouTube. I really do get what you're saying, Rich, and I totally agree with you. But with what the people are doing now, with the way they don't care and everything, and they only care about the kneeling and of the anthem and the replays and the side shit that comes with the game, they're driving down ratings. They're driving out sports off of your TV.
You also have, and this is the irony is lost on them. But if you've listened to any fucking other shows besides this one, including actually, if you listen to any of the old episodes of this show, you know that I constantly point out that irony and satire and a few other things are completely lost on the younger generations. While they want so fiercely to be part of a group, they don't care about organized sports. It makes no sense from just a purely logical standpoint. You people are so tribal. You're willing to destroy a country over your bullshit, imagined horse shit that you come up with out of thin fucking air, so you guys can band together and say, well, we are gender smoke fluid binary, whatever the fuck Tumblr says at 5:05 p.m. as of today, whatever bullshit they find on the internet, they will fight tooth and nail. But I don't watch organized sports because that's fascist. That's just a bunch of people following other people. That's bad sheeple shit. That's following the leader. What the fuck do you people do all day on the internet? The fuck do you do all day with all these fucking special little groups that you create out of thin air? You're doing nothing fucking different, but you somehow feel you're better. It's like the person who goes, I hate video games. It's a waste of time, but sitting around watch TV all day. Well, you ain't doing nothing better with your fucking life. So why don't you shut the fuck up and let people enjoy things? How about that? But we can't do that anymore. It's not. That's the problem here. It's not enough that we can't. That I don't enjoy it, so I won't watch it. Now you got to ruin it for everybody else who does enjoy it because you don't like it. That's what we're getting to, man. Jesus Christ! I just read a fucking article. There's a professional flag football league starting up with former NFL players.
Good luck. I was sent. I wasn't sent. It was a notification. It was. ESPN sent out a few weeks ago a flag football highlight. It made me seriously reconsider my relationship with ESPN. Like, wow, really? Maybe it's time to delete the app.
It really is. You're pushing a rock uphill because that's not how I grew up. That's not the traditions I grew up with. And you're fighting two generations who don't give a fuck about traditions. And here's the really fucked up part. Sports is a big part of or at least it once was, a big part of our lives for whatever reason. And it obviously is to you, Earl. But have you noticed that a lot of our friends that we grew up with that were huge sports fans just don't give a shit anymore? They're married with lawn furniture and bills and kids and... they can't fucking get a job where they get 40 hours a fucking week. They got real concerns to worry about. They ain't got time to go, spend 3-4 hours watching a fucking game because the only jobs they can get, they got to work at night now. So they can't even watch games because most of them are at night. And they damn sure can't afford to go to a fucking football game. Let me ask you, okay, hold on a sec. Chris, how much is parking at LCA?
I don't know, but I mean, I notice when I'm down there, whenever there's a game at either the arena or the ballpark, everything goes up everything pretty much quadruples in price.
The cheapest I heard for parking around LCA that you can find, cheapest is $40.
Jesus.
No, you can do about, there's 20, 25.
What, a mile and a half, 2 miles away?
No, just over the freeway. It's right around Hockey Town. You can get 25 bucks.
How much was parking in the parking garage at Joe Louis? Last time I went, I think it was like $10, $15. And that was, you get out and you walk into Joe Louis Arena.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have to go through half of the fucking Midtown area to get to where I was fucking going. I mean,
there's the queue line now.
Once again, it's just a change in it, man. And all this railing against it's fun event, but ultimately it's getting nothing done. Absolutely nothing has reversed itself.
And I'm with you, Rich, and nothing's gonna. And I'm one of those people that's starting to lose interest in sports. Sports for me was an escape. It was a chance to just breathe and watch my favorite teams compete. But now I gotta watch football and hear about all the tweets that the president had and who's gonna kneel this week, and who doesn't have a job because of kneeling. And
see, like for me, all they've done is they've killed my viewing of the pregame shit. Like, well, this is all you're gonna do? Cool. I will be tuning in at 12:59 then. I will do other shit with my morning.
But even
kickoff.
Right. But even in basketball now, throughout the whole game, you're getting, commentary of this player tweeted this player said that, this player tweeted this, and I'm like, okay, who has the ball? Shut up.
You got a mute button, son?
Dude, they do the side by side with the tweets and the fucking game on the other side.
It's true.
I'm like, what the? I don't care. Play the game. God damn. So, Rich, you're 100% dead on, dude, and there's nothing that's going to take it back because we are that guy on the corner.
This is a Get Off My Lawn podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. But on that same note, I'm telling you, and Chris was like, NFL's fine. No, Chris, it's not. It's there. All these sports are going to be on the MLB, the NFL network, the NHL network, fucking YouTube. They're going to be off of network television. I'm telling you.
They still made billions of dollars in profits last year. They'll be all right.
I'm gonna say this. You're gonna have football, except for possibly Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night. They're gonna keep Sunday during the day football on broadcast television for the near future. I just can't see that going anywhere.
Yeah,
when I say near future, I'm talking like 5-10 years. By the way,
that sells a lot of beer.
But baseball, unless you're watching a Saturday Fox game or playoffs, even the playoffs are fucking, half of them are on pay cable. They're not on broadcast TV anymore.
Baseball is not as prevalent as it was when we were kids on free TV.
It was Channel 4, the NBC affiliate. That's who carried baseball when we were kids. Could you imagine them preempting daytime programming for a baseball game, a regular season baseball game these days?
For us locally, baseball's on pay TV. The Tigers are on a cable station.
Yep. And they've been on Fox Sports, and before that they were on Pass. And you got to go back to the late 80s, early 90s for them to be on broadcast television. I'm talking regular season, not special games, not game of the week. I'm talking everyday games.
Yeah.
I mean, hockey, forget it.
Hockey's been on cable for fucking decades.
Unless you're in Canada and you can get CB, or you're near Canada and get CBC and Saturday night, Hockey Night in Canada, you're not watching it on broadcast television. Basketball has a draw to it.
As long as the man's keeping the brothers down, basketball will be on free TV.
But I mean, even the Christmas Day games, those are all on TNT and TBS. I mean, this is just another example of we are the old guard, and we can yell at the clouds and we can tell kids to get off our lawn, and that's not going to change a fucking thing at this point. It's really not. I mean, and I'm right there with you. Why am I sitting here watching a game, trying to watch the bottom line to catch an update on another game, but yet I'm reading what some jackass tweeted about the game? I don't give a fuck. I do not care. And the only thing I care slightly less about than that is what the fucking players are tweeting about the fucking game. Why don't you play the fucking game? If I want to know what the fuck how you felt about the game, I'll watch the fucking interviews afterwards. But that's not the society. It's not society these days, man. And I mean, it does suck. Go back and if you can find YouTube clips of it, look at like old Monday Night Football or any football game, college football even, where a politician would be on, and listen to how they talk. First of all, if that politician got in that booth and didn't know anything about that game, they got exposed real quick. If for whatever reason Trump was to sit in on the fucking booth on Monday Night Football,
that would be glorious.
First of all, half the country would fucking have a stroke. The other half would ejaculate in their fucking pants. And then once those two things were done, that idiot would sit there and talk about nothing about how America's winning bigly and ignore the fucking game. He would get in there and basically talk politics and talk about how wonderful he is. And if you got someone from the Democratic Party to do it, they'd sit there and talk about how shitty the country is because of Trump and how we need to vote him out in 2020. Do you see what I'm saying? Jesus fucking Christ. Hunter S. Thompson despised Richard Nixon, hated that man with every fiber of his being. When he got the one chance to interview him, the one chance, Nixon's people said, you can sit in this fucking limo and take this ride with him, but you can only talk football. And you know what that fucking man did, who hated fucking Nixon with all his fucking heart? Sat there and talked football with the man during the fucking limo ride. Why? Because they both loved football. We can't even put our fucking differences aside to sit and watch sports anymore.
Two countries' world leaders came together over a sport. Hockey. 1980 Olympics. Seriously.
I mean, dude, it's just, times have changed. Shit has changed.
They so have. Because it's become, and I could go on for days on how it's brought people and world leaders, I mean, every fucking buddy together. Nowadays, it's just another springboard for snowflakes to leap from. Every fucking sport.
I mean, you don't even have to go back that far. 2002, when the Wings won the cup, I was downtown. I was at the Detroiter bar downtown, and there was all types of people partying, passing around homemade Stanley Cups, pouring God knows. It might as well have been jungle juice. There was so many different types of alcohol in all those cups, drinking out of them, drinking after each other, partying, black, white, Chaldean, Muslim, Christian, that didn't fucking
most
matter.
Arabic place outside the Middle East is Dearborn, so yeah.
None of it fucking mattered, man.
Nope.
No one fucking's had anything to say but fucking, Red Wings won the cup, let's party.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was only 16 years ago. That feels like 5 lifetimes ago, because I can't imagine getting that many people from that diverse of backgrounds together in that. If you've been to the Detroiter in Detroit, you know it's not like a huge bar. We're not talking about the Fox Theater here. All right? And there wouldn't have been any bullshit beef. Jesus Christ, motherfuckers are walking down the street smoking joints, offering them to the cops.
Hey, man, you want to hit this? No, I'm on duty, man.
And the cops just wave them on. They'd shake their head and laugh. Keep going, man. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, go Red Wings. Go on.
Yeah, but nowadays you got sportcasters that don't even talk about sports, man. During the game. I mean, you want to hear the worst rendition of the American national anthem? Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute. You had to show her that? What are you, R. Kelly? Would you marry a 14-year-old?
Kansas.
They not have
They have TV and internet in Kansas. What I
was going to say, they didn't have TV in the 90s in Kansas?
Yeah, but Kansas cares nothing at all about professional sports. I tried to tell you guys that this whole year in podcast. We need a sports franchise here.
Look,
Bad.
you have the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, Missouri has the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City is on the border of Kansas and Missouri.
Arrowhead Stadium is in Kansas City, Missouri. Right next to Royal Stadium, Kauffman, Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, God.
You got the Thunder, like a couple hours away.
Stop it. You're going to see, dude. When you come down here, you'll see. Everybody's a Dallas Cowboys fan in Wichita or a Broncos fan. There's some Chiefs. Thunder fans. There's not.
You said it like it's a threat. You're going to fucking see.
The one thing here in Wichita is the WSU Shock. The Shockers is the biggest fucking thing. Do you say something bad about the Shockers here in Wichita, you might as well talked about some black kid's mama in the middle of Detroit, because you're going to get the same ass whooping.
I see. If it's anything,
the two in the pink, one in the stink. Those shockers.
That's them.
If it's anything like Central Florida was in the late '90s when I lived there, and I got a Tampa Bay Lightning license plate because I could, and it cost like $3 extra than a normal license plate, and I was like, this would be something cool to have, hold on to. And people would go, who are the Tampa Bay Lightning? And I'm in Florida, and I'm like, the team that's like an hour and a half that way. Oh,
now everybody knows who they are because they're the champs. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what they would say. This is 1997. Florida has a hockey team. They have two, and the other one was just in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. You dipshit. Yes. So I understand. But I mean, going back to the Stanley Cup Finals, I've watched some games this year. Or not necessarily the finals, just the playoffs period. And I mean, I've had to readjust how my expectations of watching them, because I remember, short of breaking the blade off of your stick, sharpening it like a shank, and trying to fucking air hole somebody on the ice, they weren't calling shit near the end of the third period. That's not how the game is these days. A lot of the younger fans like to bitch that they're not calling everything. Then you need to go back and watch some games from 25 years ago when they really didn't call shit, because they don't get away with jack shit compared to what the murder they used to get away with.
I was talking to somebody who is of the old guard here about old NHL, and they said, and we were talking about that very thing, why refs didn't call so much back then like they do now. And he said, the guy I was talking to said, because the refs knew if they started fucking up and calling shit like that, the ticky-tack penalties, that they were going to get hammered later on in the game because they were enforcers. People look at them when they call the ticky-tack bullshit and like, all right, motherfucker, stand next to that board for a minute. And they would take a run from the fucking one side of the rink to the other. Oh, I missed that guy, but the ref's down.
Ticky-tack, bitch.
It's called incidental contact. Whoops, my bad.
I was shooting for him. He moved you, but he said it. Nowadays, they won't even fucking protect their goalie, let alone, go after him for a fucked up call. Well,
let's bring it back around for this last subject to actual sports talk here for a sec, because we did have something interesting happen here locally, which was the Tigers, for only the second time in their history. This is a charter member of the American League. 1901, first year. It's only the second time since 1901 they had the first overall pick in the draft. The first time being 1997, when they picked up flamethrower Matt Anderson. Who? Yeah, somewhere Todd's ears just perked up and he said, who the fuck would mention Matt Anderson? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, they had a first overall pick, and they picked up a kid out of Auburn named Casey Mize. Now, everything I've read, he's a 5-pitch pitcher. Problems I've read is he has control issues, and he throws a split-finger changeup. And split-finger pitches wreak hell on a pitcher's hand and forearm. And I did a little bit more digging, and ta-da, he's had forearm issues already. Problems with injury with his forearm. So now I'm just sitting here thinking, great. Did the Tigers piss away a number 1 overall pick on a guy who's going to fucking come in and pull a Zamaya?
Maybe.
Chris, you reminded me of that fucking commercial. Is this a lug wrench? Maybe.
Well, I mean, see, I don't know. I mean, if you look at their because I'm only going to go back to Matt Anderson was 97. Jeff Weaver was 98. He was 14th overall. I'd say it was a pretty solid pick for the other teams that he played for.
Right, I was going to say, when he left.
Verlander was number 2 overall in 2004.
Terrible pick, terrible.
I mean, best player and best pitcher in baseball at the moment, Justin Verlander, that guy?
That's the guy. That's the one.
2005, they had Cameron Maben, 10th overall, who is still in the league, but not a 10th overall pick. Andrew Miller, number 6 overall in 2006, who, once again, was a great pick for the team he's on now.
Ow. Yep.
Porcello in 2007. Castellanos in 2010, who seems to be having a breakout year, offensively at least. By the way, the countdown to place him at first base and get Miggy to fucking basically just be a DH, that has to be well underway.
DH? Mm-hmm.
Do you even fucking think V-Mart's going to finish the season?
No.
I mean, seriously, don't you think that they're just sitting there going, like, Gardenhire's going, please, like, pull something, strain something. We'll pay you to sit in the locker room.
How long till he's DFA?
With that contract?
To the Hanley Ramirizum.
I think that, if I'm remembering correctly, the other day during the first game of the doubleheader with the Yankees, they pinch hit him. And I was like, why? Even if he hits the ball, it's going to take him 5 years and a day to get to first base.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, come on now.
Man, it's just hit a home run. It takes like 3 minutes. Almost there, guys.
Yeah. But, and then the rest of their picks that they go through are just, honestly, guys that I've vaguely heard of or haven't heard of at all. So these are like, this is where we need to call Todd. These are Todd type guys who's like, oh yeah, I saw him in the Venezuelan Winter League, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how the fuck did you even watch one of those games? Like, seriously, were they using a coconut to fucking broadcast to you? What the fuck? But, yeah, the thing that blew my mind is, seriously, the team has been around, charter member of the American League since 1901. He's only had the number 1 overall pick twice.
How does the baseball draft even work?
To be honest with you, I thought I knew. Obviously, I don't. Because they sucked from like early 90s to 2005. And to have the number 1 pick once, I mean...
And why do they have it right in the middle of the season?
That, I think, is because...
Oh, it probably has to do with college school years, is my guess. If I had to pull something out of my ass. College
school years, and then they can put them into minors, and then if they want, they can, in September for the 40-man roster, they can call them up. Because I do remember that Verlander was called up in 2005 in September. But his quote-unquote rookie season was 2006. So...
Hey, you want some practice? We're awful.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and that's basically what it was. I think it was him and Zamaya in 2005 during the All-Star game. They have the Futures game. They pitched in that game, and they were more impressive in that game than they were in their call-up in September in 2005. So that's got to tell you quite a bit. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that, number 1 pick, and you pick a guy who throws a pitch that, according to baseball experts, people who know a lot more than all three of us combined, say is a pitch they probably really shouldn't be teaching young kids anymore. There's more effective pitches that are less taxing on the body. And this kid's already had injury problems with the part of the body that's related to throwing that pitch.
Whoops.
Well, the first thing I thought when he said, he was like, 5 pitches, I was like, isn't that a lot? No,
I mean, that's, you got to, okay, I don't know exactly what his 5 are, but let's just take, let's 4-seam, 2-seam, there's your fastballs, change up, curveball. Obviously, he's got a split finger change up, so, take away the regular change up and
slider.
Yeah, I'd say, what about slider?
Yeah. Slider, cutter, another variation on a fastball somewhere, something like that. I mean, that's, you don't want a starting pitcher getting up there throwing fastball change up. That's a relief pitcher. I mean, like Mariano Rivera, you knew what you were getting, especially after a certain point in his career. You're getting the cutter. That's all you're going to get. But that's all he needed. You get a guy like Zamaya. Zamaya had a changeup and a fastball. Yeah, he had a curveball, but I mean, he's throwing 103 mile per hour fastball and an 82 mile per hour changeup, that's a hell of a difference, especially when it looks exactly the same coming out of his hand.
I was a solid 4-pitch pitcher when I played the show.
What 4 did you choose?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, I did my slider, my fastball. Yeah, the slider, 4-seam, the cutter, and a curveball, I think.
Man, I'd have to go with 4-seam, 12-6, get that knee buckle and curve. A good slider, if you're a right-hander, that'll work for you. And a changeup, that's always good against left-handed batters if you're a righty on the mound. At least in the show it is. And yes, I've been playing way too much lately because it's the last video game I can afford to buy, and it'll probably be the last one I can afford to buy for a long time to come. So it's my go-to thing to do.
It's playing at Christmas.
Oh, I'm still playing NHL from last year. I'm enjoying the fuck out of that. Trust me.
Still don't have the Golden Knights, right?
Yeah, I folded.
Maybe Detroit drafted this kid to replace. God.
No, I was just going to make a bullshit joke that absolutely added nothing to the conversation. What were you going to say? Who they replace or drafting to replace?
They drafted and replace Mike Fryer.
Or Fulmer.
Not Fulmer. No, Fire. Did you hear about that story?
Oh, I mean, enlighten us.
Yeah, no, tell us.
He hit Giancarlo Stanton in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Almost ended his career.
Almost ended his career. He didn't miss any time. He fucking dinged one off him, flipped the bat, and stared him down as he ran around home, or ran around the diamond. Then he fucking pointed to him when he got to home plate.
No, that was this last game. 4 years ago, he almost ended his career when he hit him in the face. This time, he hit him, and Carlos was like all types of, puffing up, like, why are you fucking hitting me, man? Why are you hitting me? And then the next time he was up, that's when he cranked it.
Oh, what he hit him 4 years ago? Where?
When he was with the Marlins, when Carlos was with the Marlins. Fire hit him in the face. Beating him right in the head.
How is this connected to the Tigers draft?
Maybe this kid's replacing Mike Fire.
Oh, is he on the Tigers now?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was on the Tigers before, Ross. 4 years ago. Hit Carlos in the head when he was on the Marlins.
Fires was a pitcher responsible for hitting Stanton in the face with a pitch in 2014. Stanton had to be carted off the field and missed the rest of the season due to injury. Fires has not intentionally hit Stanton with the pitch 2014. Replay shows Fires was immediately concerned for Stanton after the play. It didn't matter to Stanton on Monday, especially after Fires hit him again. And then, basically just a recap of what Earl said. So
in the face again?
No, he hit him in the shoulder this time.
Hit him in the balls. Made a statement.
No, I immediately flashed back to Major League 2 or 3. Major League 3. You throwing at Carlos? No, I think there was some moisture, some dew that got on the ball.
Well, according to Eric Bolin, who I have no idea who the fuck that is, probably some baseball reporter. Hold on here. Yankees beat writer. There we go. Stanton, what he said to Fires: get it over the plate. I'm not trying to stir this up. That's just what it is. Anything like that happens, another ball like that, no matter how many years it is, you're not going to be happy. Not going to just walk to first and everything's okay. So.
Well, I mean, that's true, too. You see one guy, he hits you in the face, you miss the whole season because he hit you in the face. See him 4 years later, beans you again. Nah, I'm looking at you. If there's ever a reason to charge the mound, I think Stanton had it. Seriously.
We can handle this like some gentlemen, and we can get into some gangster shit.
Pretty much. But I mean, once again, that's that old time baseball that's going away. I mean, the fact that it didn't matter that back in the day, if that had been Bob Gibson staring in at Stanton, and Stanton would have flipped that bat and stared him down, Gibson wouldn't have
never made it to first.
Yeah, Gibson wouldn't have waited for Stanton's next at bat. He'd have just started running at him going, oh, you want it like this? You got it like this. I don't give a shit how big you are. You can change your name 5-6 times. I don't give a shit. I'm still whipping that ass.
It seems
I got your rookie card, Mike.
Yeah, it seems to be saw the mound charge a lot more when we were kids.
Well, you also saw pitchers. I mean, there's a documentary called Fastball that I watched during our little sabbatical here. That when they go to talk to Nolan Ryan, he said something that I laughed very hard at, but I also remember as being very true. He said, when I got up 0-2 on a batter, you just threw at his head. That's what you did. Just to remind him, hey, I ain't going to strike you out with 3 pitches, and I could kill you if I wanted to. I mean, it's just how it was. You know, and it goes back to, it was either Gibson or I think it was Gibson that said, why would I waste 4 pitches to put him on base when I could do it with 1?
Well, that's good point.
So fucking intentional walk. I'm just going to drill him. Then you go take your base, rub it out, rub some dirt on it, walk it off. And I think it was Don Drysdale that actually, batters that homered off him, he would write their names on the underside of the bill of his hat, and he'd check it. And he'd go, oh, okay, yeah. You hit a dinger last time, here's your dinger, and ear hole him. So, I mean, it once again, completely different game from 40, 50 years ago, even from when we were kids.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ever proved that.
Proved what?
If he actually dinged everyone that homered off of him. It sounds like something that some baseball nerd somewhere has to have chased down.
Well, I mean, it's also baseball lends itself to that type of, mythology and telling of the stories, and it becomes a game of telephone. From what really happened to 50 years down the line, it's something completely different. And the whole Babe Ruth calling his shot in the World Series against the Cubs. Players that were actually there were like, nah, the Cubs dugout was giving him shit, and he was pointing at the Cubs dugout. Because the only picture they have of it, you can't really see if he's pointing to the outfield or if he's pointing at the dugout. You can't make it out which one. He could be doing either one. And, players on the Yankees and the Cubs, half of them say he called a shot, the other half say, no, he was telling the Cubs dugout, like, keep talking shit, we'll catch you after the game. We all drink at the same place.
So what, Doc, So Doc Ellis was really on peyote?
I kind of believe the Doc Ellis story. I really do, man. I've seen the documentary, and he was a weird motherfucker, man. Seriously. Like, he was just like, homeboy was rocking cornrows and pimp clothes back when no one else was doing it. So the fact that he might have partied a little too hard and forgot he had to start that day doesn't seem that far-fetched. Be like, hey, I showed up. Well, it's a good thing, because you need to get out there and start doing some long tossing, because you're starting at 105.
Oh, shit.
So I better chase these dragons away and get out there and start throwing the ball. All right.
Yeah. Elephants you were going to be pissed.
One of the sportscasters on Get Up on ESPN said, I think he said it the best, I don't know how you could throw a hard ball 95 to 96 miles an hour at somebody, hit them, and it not be a big deal.
Depends on whether you think you can whip that pitcher's ass.
Not really, bro. I mean, at this point, you hit me with a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball, I'm going to take my chances.
You ain't going to take your chances with nothing but calling 1-800-SAM. That's what you're going to call.
Today, I'm 40 years old. I ain't going to go out there today.
Exactly.
Wait. You know what? Yes, I am. I'm just bringing my bat with me.
I was gonna say, by the time you lumber your ass out to the fucking pitcher's mound, he's gonna be in the
shower,
fucking smoking. Yeah.
Fucking inning's gonna be over by the time I get out there.
He's gonna be like, "What's that Shrek looking motherfucker doing on the mound?" The game's over with.
Catching his breath.
Hey, shut up! You're in Wichita. I got you.
No, there was. It was a minor league game. I wish I could remember who it was, but basically the pitcher buzzed the batter. The batter turned around and he looked at the catcher and he goes, "If he does that again, I'm kicking the shit out of you." And so
there you go.
And so
That's great.
The pitcher beans the batter. The batter does a jump kick, kicks the catcher in the face, and then charges the mound. He kept his word. He kicked him in. He kicked him flat out. It's just
Oh, that's one of the best lines I've ever heard, dude. Then again, I'm kicking the shit out of you. I would have loved to have heard someone say that to somebody in a bar back in my drinking days, dude.
he spills another drink on me. I'm beating your ass.
It's like the ultimate check your boy, dude. Oh.
All right, so is that the the note we want to go out on?
It's the high note right there, man.
I got one more thing. NFL.
Okay, drag us down. We're trying to go out on the high note.
Actually, it is a downer.
Oh, I know what's coming.
Phil Jackson dead at 75. No, wait.
Well, close. Dwight Clark dead at 61.
The receiver of The Catch.
The Catch. Yep. And if you don't know The Catch, we can't talk about sports anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. Hell of a play to be remembered for.
So what exactly did he die of at 61?
See, here it comes. Was it CTE? Is it related?
Well,
that's what I'm asking.
Maybe.
I'm just waiting for everybody to say it.
Well, I heard something over the weekend saying that if you play past 3 years in the NFL, your average life expectancy is 55.
He had Lou Gehrig's disease, guys. He had ALS.
There you go.
So, yeah. Apparently a long battle with ALS. His family tweeted out that he died at home, surrounded by family and loved ones. So, I mean, first of all, 61. The older I get, the younger 61 looks like to die. I remember when I was 20. I was like, if I make it to 40, I'll be happy. I'm 41, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm on borrowed time. Pass the beer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, 61, professional athlete, yeah.
At 40, you're like, that's 20 years from now. And you're thinking about 20 years ago, like, I was 20.
Yep.
So if the next 20 goes as quick as the last 20, shit.
They go quicker. That's the thing I've learned. The older you get, the quicker it goes.
Yeah, 30s flew the fuck by. Jesus Christ.
The last thing I want to talk about is, and imagine the irony of this statement. The Eagles don't fly to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
The American symbol, not flying to Washington, D.C. Great.
They don't have to.
I am so tired of that.
It's a bird. It's not a requirement. It's First Amendment, man.
Tell me one person on that team that's going to have a chance to go to the White House in that fashion. Please say LeGarrette Blount. Please. Pretty please.
I say all of them if they repeat, and the ones who didn't, leave the team.
I'm tired of that, man. Champions go to the White House, period. That's what you do. It's a tradition. Yes, old man, coroner, I'm fucking yelling. Tired of that shit. Go to the fucking White House. God.
This is it. Once again, man, it's everything bleeds over into everything else. If we were a little kid with a coloring book, we would be unable to color within the lines.
That's true. And we'd have to change the color that we were going to color it in the first place.
At this point, I just throw the fucking crayons at the book. whatever colors want to be in the book will be there. I don't even know what the fuck, because I understand where you're coming from, because this isn't sports related, but it is kind of along these lines. I recently on a fan page I'm a member of for Stevie Ray Vaughan, someone posted video of him playing Daddy Bush's inauguration. Daddy Bush being from Texas, Stevie Ray Vaughan being from Texas, kind of made sense. And of course, it blew up into a political shitstorm, and I'm like, do any of you people realize this was 1989, that people still considered it an honor to be invited, regardless of whether you supported their politics or not?
And the irony is, this shit of protesting or not going to the White House started with Baby Bush W.
Well, what do you? Dude, I don't know. I don't even know. At this point, you know what? If I'm Trump, just do it. Just don't invite anybody to the fucking White House. It's just gonna start shit.
None of you can come anymore.
Yeah, just enter the tradition. If the next president wants to pick it up, go for it. But you know eventually what's going to happen. There's going to be some... If the next president is a Democrat, there's going to be some right-leaning athlete who's going to refuse to go, some Kurt Schilling type athlete, and it's going to start a bunch of shit, and then... If we're still doing this show, we're going to have to talk about it, and it's tiresome. It's sports, guys. Just go. Fucking let them go mispronounce half the people's names and enjoy the fucking Dr. Peppers.
Why Zierman?
Exactly. Enjoy the Dr. Peppers and go piss in the bushes on the West Lawn or some shit. I don't know. Fucking
go interrupt the press briefing. Looking at you, Gronk.
You know what? Exactly. If you're gonna go, if you really don't want to go, what you do is you go and you have such a good time. You're not invited next time.
Back. Ever. I don't care how many trophies you have.
And when they throw
get hammered and grab Melania's titty. Like,
exactly.
Make it memorable.
You're like, hey, Melania, I ain't seen you smile in a while. Want to go back there and see if I can make you smile? You're welcome to leave and never come back. I've been thrown out of better places than this.
Want to see a dick that's not orange?
No, I'm just saying, man. That's one of the things about being champions. You go and celebrate. You show off to the country. Look, we did this. It's a great thing to be invited to the White House. I don't care who's sitting in the Oval Office. Or under the desk, for that matter. Fucking go. Shut up and go and be a champion.
Yeah, but at the same time, First Amendment, they're allowed to... Like, especially...
And I'm not saying they're not, dude. I am so not debating whether they can or can't. They can. I'm debating whether they should or shouldn't. They shouldn't.
The same First Amendment that lets you sit here and say, no, they should go. It's tradition. Same thing. Same rules.
Yeah, absolutely. They have every right to not go. And they have every right to say you're a shitty champion. Go be a fucking champion.
Trust me, I'm with you. If I'm a professional athlete, think I'm ever going to get a chance to go to the White House? Probably not. Should seize this opportunity. Maybe take a dump in the Lincoln bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. Knows? Jesus.
But, I mean...
Shit. Go and talk shit. Go and walk up to him and before you hand him the jersey with his, with 45 on it,
like,
say,
you're a bitch.
Oh, no. Just say, hey, I bet you thought it was going to be your buddy Tom Brady standing here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good.
No, fuck that. Hand him the fucking jersey on one knee.
There you go.
Get down on a knee and hand him the fucking jersey. Get a picture.
Can you imagine the fucking memes?
Oh my god, dude.
They're gonna Photoshop out that jersey. He's gonna look like he's proposing. It's gonna look like he's getting ready to blow him. It's just the internet would win again.
Oh, it absolutely would. But I'm saying though, if there's you're gonna protest that in the NFL and everything, take it to Washington and do it right. God damn it.
I'm almost
just let your cocks on one knee with the fucking jersey going here.
I'm almost getting to the point where I'm just like, I just don't give a shit anymore. Can't we just go back to having fun?
No, that was my question earlier. No.
it was 10 years, but it was 10 years ahead of its time. But that Doug Stanhope, this generation sucks bit, where he was like, doesn't anyone remember when bands would wreck hotel rooms and do crank off of strippers' titties and just have fun? Can't we have fun anymore?
Yeah. You're into a little cloudy, Doug. You've been having fun on the weekends.
We not enough fun for you here at the Verizon family.
Yeah.
You're gonna start piss testing for adrenaline in the workplace. All right. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, we found another high note to go out on. Don't you dare bring us down again, Iceman.
Okay, one more. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, the show. I don't know. What are we doing here, guys? Like show meeting? Are we gonna mothball it till football season? Are we gonna use when we feel like it? What are we gonna do?
I mean, I was thinking since it's the slow season as far as there's no Olympics, there's just baseball, etc. Maybe aim for once every 2 weeks, and then if something really fucking big happens, maybe do like a shortened show, you know,
the Tom
like
Brady retirement special.
Yeah, like you know, kind of like the Weedsman has the Nuggets, you know, do a little what would it be?
Like when Rappaport has his emergency podcasts.
Do a Sporgy seepage.
There you go.
No, a Sporgy secretion. Just a quick secretion. That will really get banned from
yeah, I know,
from the rest of the places. There'll be a lot of confused people following us. I thought this was going to be a sex show.
And then when football kicks up, I mean that's our fucking wheelhouse. Son of a bitches.
Yeah, that's once a week.
Oh, I already and guys, I already had that thought the other day. It's like, is it football yet? It's last Sunday. I was like, God damn! Like, can it be football yet? Because I mean, yeah, we're tight.
No, everybody's still standing. It's not football yet.
No, we're tight, but no, we're Tigers fans, man. It's gonna be a long fucking summer, man.
A competitive season, one where they don't give up halfway through. If the players are still playing like they give a fuck by the time the All-Star break rolls around, I can only.
Or some team we don't expect throws in the towel and has a fire sale, and something miraculous happens.
No matter what happens, I don't think the Tigers are going to be buyers this year. They might not have a fire sale like Todd was talking about with Fulmer and everything. They might actually hold on to him, but I mean, I don't see it. I don't see him being. I don't know.
Aaron Judge says Jesus came to him in a dream and says, "You have to play in Detroit."
Aaron Judge is kicked out of Major League Baseball for 80 games due to its substance abuse violations. That's what happens then.
Before that, he signs with the Tigers.
So yeah, a couple weeks, we'll revisit the situation.
Yeah, we'll have a new Stanley Cup champion. We'll probably be at Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Like, God damn! Like, what is with? That's one thing. I think we bitch about it every year. What is with the 3 and 4 days between the games? Jesus fucking Christ!
That's a way for them to get more money. I'm telling you.
They milk that shit, man. They really do.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you don't ever see any more sweeps than finals.
That could be valid.
Any way to extend the series. I mean, anyway. And the fact that there is the cliche of until the home team loses, it's not a series, tells you that home court advantage in the NBA is in full effect. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the calls, simply by virtue of being the home team. Yeah. Which goes back to another reason that I don't respect the NBA, but whatever.
Yeah, next time you hear us, we'll be new champions. We'll probably be sniffing the All-Star break. And yes, at Sporty Podcast on Twitter, Sporty Podcast at ChristopherMedia.net. And we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast, and check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.